Why, good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. You are watching the Wise Morning Coffee Chat Show. Super excited this morning. I have two amazing ladies on with me, and you'll get to meet them in just a bit. So, you are watching the Wise Morning Coffee Chat Show. The whole show is about inspiration, conversation, motivation. Our goal is really to highlight amazing women in our community and showcase them and show what they have done. So, of course, I'm the founder of the Women's Institute of Self Development and Efficacy. I know that's super long, so just say WISE for short. That makes everything easier. And then our community is definitely really big on conferences and retreats and empowerment for women. We really want to help women go from, you know, um, you know, intimidated, lack of confidence to like unshakable, faith filled, and purpose driven. So that's who I am. I'll pass it on to my co host, Maria, so she can introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Paloma, and I am a coach in the WISE community. I'm so happy to be here today. I am a full time teacher, so I am on spring break. So I'm also a financial coach. I'm with Transformation Financial, and we love helping people. And I'm very happy to be here. So thank you, Jennifer.
Yay, yeah, she has her day off. So we know that we're like,
Sort
come
of.
on by. Yeah, sort of. Um, Thank you, Maria. And then, of course, our special guest today is Luz Canino Baker. Super excited to have you. She was our sponsor for our conference, so I definitely wanted to bring her on the show. So, Luz, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning. Good morning. This is early for me. Luz Canino Baker, president and founder of Latinas on the Plaza, a nonprofit organization that equips, empowers, and engages women, young women of color. Also, president of LNC Coaching, my executive leadership coaching and training company.
Nice, nice. So, I actually had the privilege to be part of the Fuerte program when I was 30. So, 5 years ago, I was part of that program. It's been 5 years, and it was actually really inspiring. So I definitely enjoyed it very much. A lot of great connections, and I think lifelong friendships. You know, Amel, and Mel is actually that's how I originally met Amel, who's also a coach in our community, and she supports what I
Yes.
do here. So um,
Mhm.
thank you so much for putting those platforms together. So of course, here's the fun part of our show is coffee time, right? So for those that are watching, this is an interactive show, so please do not be shy. Feel free to engage in the conversation, share what you're drinking this morning because Luz knows every time you meet, and Maria knows when you meet a new person, what's the first thing that they tell you? Let's go grab coffee, right? Like it's always this like coffee thing. Let's go get, well, I know that there's business dinners and stuff. I never really attracted business dinners in my professional career. I don't, no one ever said, let's go get business dinner. How do they say that? That's, I don't know. What do they say? Uh,
I haven't had
um,
one myself, so I don't know.
Yeah, let's
we
have
had
dinner.
I think we
Yeah.
need to bring it back. Let's do that.
Yeah.
people
I
do
still
that.
have
People
dinner with folks.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. I wasn't sure how people invite in the business community, like, yeah, let's go get dinner. Like, it just sounds weird to me. It feels like a date. um, but
Almost.
almost. But I have heard coffee. Let's go grab lunch. Let's go get coffee. Maybe it's because I'm just always networking with more women. I don't know. But yeah, so coffee time. Go for it, Maria. Let us know what are you drinking this morning and what's in your coffee, or do you have something else?
No, I actually do have coffee, and I'm using my favorite mug. It's not only is it a nice big mug, but I love the
Um,
message on there. So,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I love it. It's nice and sturdy. But I drink black coffee with a little bit of sugar, and it's actually Kirkland coffee. From Costco. I've tried different brands. I'm not, a very a heavy dark coffee drinker. Every now and then, my husband puts an extra scoop in there, and I can tell. So, yeah, it's kind of it's dark roast, but it's pretty mild. So yeah, but I like maybe
Nice.
2.5 cups of coffee a day. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. I just found a conspiracy theory on, was it you that told me on Kirkland Coffee? Oh,
What's the
it's not
conspiracy
conspiracy
theory?
theory. It's not conspiracy theory. Duncan owns Kirkland, or
No,
someone.
Costco. No, Costco owns Kirkland. That's a Costco
Costco
brand.
owns.
That's
Yeah,
a
which I
Costco
Yeah,
thought,
brand.
but
Franklin
someone
is
said,
the Costco brand for most of their products.
yeah, and I know Kirkland because I go to Costco all the time. And I thought that too. But someone said, and again, maybe I gotta do my research, and I'm just passing around cheese me. But someone said that was part of Dunkin'. I said that can't be right. Like if
I know.
Hmm.
that
Doesn't sound right. I mean,
that
that's
I don't know.
Kirkland is a Costco brand.
It
Big
is
brand,
because they
big
have
brand,
the
a lot of
cheese.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
So Luz, what are you drinking this morning?
So I'm on my second cup. Lately, I feel like I'm drinking 2, 3 cups of coffee in the morning, and then one of my favorite cups too.
Oh, I love it.
Becoming an outdoor woman. It's something that I go to almost every
Ooh.
year to really learn how to do outdoor activities that women don't typically do. But I
Oh,
drink. A couple years ago, I made it easy and just switched over to a Keurig.
Nice.
So I
Yes.
go. It's always hard finding the right Keurig, though, because some of them are
Oh,
watered down. I think my
mm,
favorite, which is really strange because I'm not a big fan of Starbucks coffee, but their Keurig is amazing. Their Starbucks
oh
Keurig,
wow.
their breakfast
yeah, I've
blend
had that.
and their Colombian blend is really the best.
Nice. See, we learned something new just by the
Yeah.
coffee. You know, um, I I'm actually not even drinking coffee. I feel like I'm coffeeed out. I got my California mug when I went to Fresno this past last year summer. Um, yeah, I was drinking so much coffee this weekend. It was like because I went to a 3-day conference and it was like all day, 8 to 6,
Oh
eight
my.
to 6:30, 3 days straight. So I felt
Wow.
like no, I gotta keep going out there. So and the content was so heavy, dense. It's like
Wow.
I was like, I can't fall asleep in this. Run
Yeah.
outside, get coffee. So I'm like, I'm gonna drink tea today because I don't think that caffeine was good for
Oh,
me. But
Good, good.
we have some people on with us. We have Jeanette Artiega. Buenos dias. She is part of our community also. And then we do have a Facebook user. And of course, it comes out like this because we're streaming in the Facebook group. So if that's the case, if you guys are watching, give Restream permission to show your name. Go to chat.restream.io/FB. I put it in the chat of the Restream so that this way you can show your name. Just give them permission to show your name, and then we'll know who you are. So good morning, Facebook user, because right now we don't know who you are. um, so awesome. So thank you so much for sharing. And those that are watching, let us know what you're drinking this morning, whether it's coffee, water, shakes, it's all right. So now let's go into Maria, and of course, if you have any questions for Luz, that would be great. We could just start off. Luz, how did you even get into this coaching world that you do?
Yeah, by resisting it, actually. So I was, many of you who know me know I was a banker. So I spent 28 years in banking. And when I was an executive at the bank, they had an executive transformational coaching program that you had to be selected to participate in. And my boss, who I absolutely loved, was my favorite boss, said, Luce, I want you to do this program. It's 6 months long. You have to fly to Columbus, Ohio once a month. And it was intense. I would fly there every month. And in the beginning, this whole idea of coaching sounded a little hokey to me, kind of like, I'm like a spiritual woman, so I'm really careful what I delve into.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it sounded a little out there, to me. And I was like, this is so weird. But then my coach, I was assigned a coach, and my coach said to me, why don't you just try it? Like, try it on. And I said, all right, I'll try this thing on. And once I tried it, this whole idea of making big promises, big commitments, having integrity. I mean, there were lots of different principles that I had to adhere to. And I tried it on, and it started to really change. It started to transform the way that I behaved. And I was hooked. I was hooked. So I did the 6-month program, and they invited me back to coach executives. Then I ended up coaching 5 executives. And then they brought me back again, and I coached another 5 executives. So I thought, oh, I'm kind of good at this. So I decided to launch my own practice part-time while I was still a banker.
Nice. That's the story. Oh my goodness. And yes, I know that you're a great coach, so you
Thank
definitely
you.
hold people accountable. So uh we have Elizabeth. It worked well. It actually shows your name, so you're good, girlfriend. You can comment and engage with us, and we know who you are. So no worries, and welcome to the show. She's watching from LinkedIn, so we definitely are also live streaming on LinkedIn right now. Um, Maria, do you have any questions to Luz about her journey?
No, that's great. I didn't know that story. And I do know that you have a great program. I have other friends who've gone through the program as well. I
Yeah.
considered it, but it just was one of those things. It wasn't, the right time for me. But I see how successful you are. And it's amazing how things kind of fall into place, which is, kind of like, things that are happening to me too, that, things are just falling into place. You kind of put yourself on this path, and then you either attract it or somehow it just comes to you. So that's wonderful that this
Yeah,
opportunity
yeah. I don't
came.
think I would have planned
Right,
it. It's
right.
it's almost like it's an evolution. You're in
Yes.
it, and
Yeah.
then something else shows up, and you say, "Oh, maybe I should just kind of explore this opportunity." And then you figure out, "Oh, this like I love doing this," and so it's just being open to what shows up. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about being willy nilly and jumping from thing to
Right.
thing, but really paying attention to what you're really good at, and what kind of talent do you have that shows up naturally, and then you actually enjoy it, right?
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I have a funny story, Luz, actually, because I used to do so when I first got laid off in 2016, I was helping Luz with her social media.
Mm-hmm.
What year was that? 2016,
Yeah,
2017 ish, right?
yeah, I think so.
Um,
Yeah,
and I remember I helped you put that wine event in Pilsen. Remember, Luz?
yes, I do.
Well, then not too long ago, it repopped on my phone. You know how sometimes Google Photos like will remind you, like, "Hey, remember this event?" And I'm
Memories,
like,
yes.
"Yeah." And I looked. I'm like, "Hey, that's Maria." So Maria, you were at that wine event.
Yes, that's where I met Liz. And I think so. Liz Gonzalez invited me to that. Elizabeth
Yes,
Gonzalez.
that's how I connected to you, Maria, was through
Yes.
Liz. Yes, and you came and you did an awesome yoga for our girls. Hmm.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I mean. Like things happen, like exactly what you're saying. Like you stay open, and you stay listening, to those little voices and things that happen. So Jennifer, I met Jennifer through a networking event through another women's organization, and then we kept running into each other, and then I ran into you at that wine tasting event, and I was
Yeah,
like, "Hey, I know you,"
yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
those things kind of, those paths continued to cross. And then Jen launched her um, group. I mean, you were doing some initial monthly things with the group,
Workshop.
and then that evolved. And I just stayed connected and very interested, and kind of like, oh, I like what I hear, and
Mm.
really learning. It was really a personal development and learning opportunity for me to be surrounded by women like you. And again, just staying open to the possibilities, for sure.
Yeah, no. That's good. I just thought that was cool. I was like, wait, I know
Yes,
her.
yes,
And I thought I met you through this networking
yeah,
event, right? So then
no,
like but
right,
that does happen if we're constantly networking. You're always
yes,
running into people at
You're
different
running
places. So it's so
into, yeah,
true.
yes.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me show this comment. It's actually from Sue. She's a member of our community. Too early for me to drink anything. Ha ha ha. Going to work out before I drink anything, then protein shake, then coffee. It's Susan Vasquez here. And okay to say my name. Going to go find that other link. Awesome. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, the link, I put it in the chat. It should be there. It's the chat .restream.io/FB. That'll just give permission to show the name. So, Luz, now that you do the coaching, tell us a little bit more about the services that you provide. I know you said, you help women, especially women of color, which I really appreciate. What exactly is it that you do through Latinas on the
Mm-hmm.
Plaza?
Yeah. So again, so basically I'm a coach, right? So that's my LNC coaching, which I use a lot of my coaching in the nonprofit Latinas on the Plaza. So not only just my ability to be a coach, but also all the certifications that I bring to the table, like Myers-Briggs and Insight Discovery and Hogan and I mean, a slew of things that I'm certified in. I use those tools with my
Mhm.
girls and women. So in Latinas on the Plaza, in addition to being part of the program, whatever program I'm offering, cohort-based programs, we supplement that program with coaching. So I actually end up coaching all of the young women of color in the program. So normally I'm coaching 10 young women, during a 10-week period. And that's
Mhm.
more around career coaching, like, what kind of career are you in today and where do you want it to be? So I help them through that process in 10 weeks. I have them include some life goals, which, is important. And then the more, I'm not going to say senior because that sounds really old, the 30 plus, the 30 plus women that are in my leadership program, I do leadership coaching, specifically coaching them on their leadership skills during we're actually together for a year. We're 6 months together and then 6 months post class. So I stay with them to ensure that what they want to achieve as a leader, I can coach them through that process. I haven't done it for
Nice,
the
nice.
little 4-year-olds aren't getting coaching yet.
Oh, yeah, she has the little ones, and then
Yes.
you're
Yeah, I
that's
introduced, I think 3 years ago, program for little girls starting at age 4. So I have little girls right now from age 4 to 8. And once a month we meet to really help them to see themselves as smart, strong, and safe.
oh, that's nice. I
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
great. I love
It
that.
is. It
Hmm.
is. And now we have Susan. She said, "Hello, beautiful lady." So now we see her face. Here she is. So and if anyone here is watching and you have questions, feel free to pop them in that chat. We can show them on air and ask. But yeah, I think, and what I really love about your programs, Luz, is you bring people from the outside into your programs, right? Like I know you said Maria, she was doing the
Hmm.
yoga. I
Yeah.
remember you had
Mhm.
like a colonel in one of the programs speaking
Yeah.
to us. So I remember like different people would come and you would have them, talk about whatever they're doing or whatever inspiration they have for the community, which is really good. Partnerships, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Um, I don't know.
Collaborations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. I mean, um, I feel like I'm always on the hunt when I'm out there, as we were just talking about how we all met. I'm always on the hunt. Like I hear somebody speaking, I'll go to an event and it's a connection to what I do then I think, hey, I think you would be great, to come and speak to my girls, so, and I'm real particular about who I put in front of my audience, but I'm always on the hunt, trying to not only, give them all that I have, but expose them to other people, to expand their network. So I've been blessed to really have amazing instructors, men and women, and of various colors, to teach in the Fuerte program and to teach in the Archer Leadership program as well.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I know. We know how hard that is to always be finding on the lookout for
Oh,
speakers.
yeah.
And I know Maria, well, with everything that Maria does also with the Fig Factor Foundation, I can only imagine she gets the mentorship side of, or those necessities, right, Maria?
Yes, absolutely. I'm the same way, and it's great when you run into somebody who's also willing to do it, because they may be very good in their profession, whatever it may be, but they're not really a speaker type of person, and maybe they don't feel comfortable. So it's
Right.
really great to find that in a person, both qualities, that they're not afraid to come and share their knowledge, and present to a group, and then impart tidbits of their experience and knowledge from their whatever area of expertise that they have, and then our young girls can walk away with something that they can learn or use in life, or potentially make it a career, because that's always our
Right.
goal, like you're saying, is
Exactly.
really that helping them cultivate that path, because we're working with young girls as young as 15, as old as 25. But the bulk of our young ladies are in that like 15 to 19 age group. And we do
Mhm.
find a lot of them saying, I don't know what to do. And I always say, it's okay. I was there with you, when I was 18, 19, having to fill out a college application and immediately write down what your major is going to be. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm 18.
Right.
So really
Right.
giving them that opportunity to sit back and just say, yes, I don't know what I want to do yet.
Right.
Really
Mhm.
allowing them, because there's that pressure from, either their peers or their family. Some kids got it. They're like, yep, I know what I want. I love to do this, this, and this is what I'm going to do. And that's great. But then you've
Mhm.
got the bulk of the kids who really, are not sure. And that's okay. When you're that young, it's okay to be, checking things out and really listening to people and finding a mentor, whether it's a, school counselor, a friend, a parent, a family member, really somebody who is very level-headed, hopefully, and giving good advice,
Yeah.
because sometimes there are people out there who are, well-intentioned, but not always giving the best advice also. So just really allowing the kids an opportunity to find somebody who will help them cultivate that path. So I think, what
Yeah.
you're doing is wonderful. And yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky finding those people. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so good because I was on another show this weekend called She Wolf, and she said, "How'd you get started, and why do you do what you do?" And I said, "Honestly, there was a woman. I was 16 years old, and I was living on the little village area of Chicago, and I was going to Farragut High School at the time, which was 99.5% African American. So I was definitely the little skinny little minority person in there."
oh,
And there were maybe five other little Latinas there. So this Mexican woman would come in. I don't know if she's a social worker. She would come in and she would meet with us on a Friday. And she called them like rap sessions. It's interesting, rap back then. And she would just we would sit in a circle. I have this visual. We're sitting in a circle and she would just listen to what was going on. I don't know what came out of that because it's so long ago. But that woman would also take personal time to take us to parts of the city that we never would have seen. Like in my head, she took us to Chinatown. She took us to different parts of the city. I mean, we weren't using the word mentor back, but basically
right.
she was mentoring us without even using the language. And as a result of that, that's why I do what I do, because I think that woman poured into my life I didn't even know I needed it at 16.
Mm.
And she made a difference because I am doing the same thing. I'm doing what she did. What she gave me, I am turning around and giving back. So sometimes you think, I don't want to be a mentor. I don't want to, but you don't realize how powerful of an impact you can have on that individual. I mean, they might not even tell you, like, I probably never said thank you to that woman because I was 16, but she really impacted my life. And I think if you pour into the life of a young person, I think later, and maybe you'll never hear it, but they might be telling a story like I'm telling today as to the impact that you had on their life.
Yeah, and that's a great story, Luz. I love, I mean, I can relate to that because, I'm also a product of CPS. And even though I have my um, opinions on the school system, even though I hear they gotten a lot better, right? If it wasn't for those teachers or those coaches or those, right, that like gave a little bit more effort, I don't think I would even I don't think I would have even gone to college, right? Like, I don't think that would have even been a thought process for
Yes.
me. So I do
Mhm.
appreciate like similar situations like you, Luz, where someone took the time and showed you extra, spoke to you extra, did team building activities with you, and you're like, what the heck is going on here? Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, especially when you're in like underprivileged communities, right?
Mhm.
You come from an underprivileged community. um, my daughter now, which I look at like her high school course curriculum that she could take, and it's like college. I'm like, whoa, like
Mhm.
I could take fashion design and entrepreneurship and sports marketing. And I'm like, I mean, it would be great if we just had a little bit extra, right? Like, I'm just sitting here, like, looking at all the opportunities these kids out here in the suburbs have. And
Yes,
I'm
so
like,
different.
man, I wish,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, they have more opportunities now, but they still need the guidance, as Maria was
Yes.
saying. They still need somebody to step in and take all those
Mhm.
things and help them flesh out, like, what is it? Because um, even at 18, I mean, you still don't know what you really want to do, right? And it is kind of a shame that when you're in the college application process that you have to declare, like, oh
Right.
God, I'm going to go into communications. This have no clue. I mean,
Right.
at 18, I was thinking I was going to be a bilingual education teacher, and I've never been a bilingual education teacher.
mm,
Well, that's interesting because I went to college and I ended up in human resources. And then I worked in the field for about 10 years, stayed home with my kids for about 10 years, and then went back to become a teacher. And so I
oh,
was the other way around. I never saw myself as a teacher. But then I think I was a teacher before I was a teacher because I joke about how I, would do summer activities with my own kids, my brother's kids, because they would stay with me during the summer. And I would create little journals. I would staple pages together and tell them draw a picture, write about it. I was like, oh, I do that with my students now, But
nice.
but it's interesting how those things happen, right? And going back a little bit to finding the mentor or the counselor. I mean, I know my brother tells a story where he wanted to get, and this is back in the early 80s. Again, not to knock CPS because I think they are improving things, but he had a counselor literally say to him, why are you even thinking about going to college? You know, you can't afford it. You don't have the grades. You don't like totally knocking him down. And it was just my brother's tenacity to say, no, I want to go. And he went.
Yeah.
He went to college, got his degree, ended up working for Northern Trust, very successful career. Now he's retired from there,
Oh,
but he always tells that story like, had I listened to that person, what would my life have been? So it's really being able to listen to your gut, listen to that, intuition to say, no, this is what I want. And you
yes.
might be thinking, and or even checking with somebody else, like, what do you think, about this? But it's really difficult. And nowadays, when we think about the job, our children today, young elementary, teenage, high school children, what kinds of jobs are they coming into when you think about when they get out of college in 10 years potentially? Our world is so different that the jobs 10 years from today are truly not even in existence right now.
Exactly.
So how do we prepare them?
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
good.
truly I believe as a teacher now and in the education field, the most important things that we need to teach our children are the soft skills. Yes, they do need the technical skills for sure. They need to know, go to school, get the accounting, the marketing, all that stuff. But those soft skills like communications, eye contact, presentation skills, like being able to just meet people, greet people, like all of that stuff is going to be so
Mhm.
important because social media is really bringing us into this like literally caves, right? Because we're on there and we see people, we talk to them, but we're texting and we're emailing and we're sending emojis. And when do we actually speak
Yeah.
to people face to face and share our thoughts and our ideas? And
Yes.
just that creativity side is going to be so, so important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me share these comments. Jennifer said, "Good morning, ladies." She's also part of our community. Good morning, Jennifer.
People,
Super excited to have you. Beautiful, Luz. Yes, you are paying it forward. And then she wrote, "Horrible when negative people speak negatively into a child or
yes,
anyone. I always try to speak life into others, as I know you ladies do too. God bless us all, everyone." Yeah, I've
yeah,
heard of situations like that, which is
yeah,
unfortunate why you
Mm-hmm.
need people to speak life. Because I remember in high school, girls would be like, "Don't they tell you to drop out and get pregnant, the teachers?" I was like, "Wait, what?" Like no one's ever told me to do that,
oh, gee,
but the fact that yeah, and we're kids, right? So a kid is telling another
right,
kid what a teacher's telling them, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting here like, why would they say that? That's weird, like, right? But then fortunately there's good people that are in the schools that are like, no, you can go to college. No, so it's just finding those right people, right? And that's why these mentorship programs are so critical. At least for me now as a mom looking now at my daughters like, oh, I need to plug her in this. I need to put her in this. I need to
yes,
put her in
Yeah.
that, because I just want
Absolutely.
to provide everything.
yes,
Yeah. That's why actually I started working with, for years I've been working with women and I still work with women and young girls, but during the Me Too movement, I thought, you know what, we need to start this education process early. So that's why I
mhm,
started the Little Arrows program with the four-year-olds and up. And as you're saying, Maria, it's so important to teach them like who they are, for them to
mhm,
remember actually who they are.
mhm,
2 weeks ago, I taught them about emotional intelligence. So how to express their
Mm,
feelings, right? Because there's a lot of you know, it was all about the BFF, So my BFF is so friendly to me this week. Then next week she tells me she doesn't want to be my friend. So how do
mhm,
you talk? How do you handle that situation? Because that's going to
mhm.
happen when you're little. That's going to happen in the office. Somebody's going to pretend to be
Yes.
your friend. How are you going to express yourself? So we were teaching them how to let other people know what they're feeling versus just
mm,
holding it in or going into a little corner and retreating. So it's just really interesting. I love it. I just love the conversations to sit back and listen to them talk about these things that to us are minor because we've been through it, right? But it's big. It's really so important to
Mhm,
like the
mhm.
light is so important. And I think that if we can speak positives, like we did something really simple like learning how to set the table, and you would think, okay, I want to teach these girls how to set the table because they're good. No, that was not the idea. The idea was, and I told them after they set the table, I said, the reason I'm teaching you how to set a table is because you guys are going to be presidents of companies and you're going to have all these dinner meetings. and I want you to know what glass to pick up and which silverware to use, because you're going to be at all these meetings. So I am speaking positive as to where these girls are going, and it's just amazing, amazing.
Luz, I think a lot of adults probably need that class. Just saying, we need etiquette classes just for adults, like, or even emotional intelligence. Like, reality is it's great to start them off so young, but there's a lot of adults that don't even know how to express themselves, now. So, I mean, it's great what you're doing. And I want to actually, before I wrap up, I want to give Luz the opportunity and Maria to promote anything that you have going on right now. And Lucy, go first to share, like, what are you right now, what are you promoting through your companies?
Sure, thank you. So right now we are actively recruiting for our fall programs. So our Fuerte program, Fuerte Strong Leadership, looking for our young women of color age 19 through 30. So if you know of a young woman who needs to be strong and confident and would benefit from having a coach, you can go to latinasontheplaza.org and have her apply. Now, these girls, sometimes they need you to say, you need to be in the program. And then if you're already in some sort of a leadership position and you want to strengthen your leadership skills, that program is starting in September, as I mentioned, 6 months in class, and then 6 months with coaching and accountability. And then overall, just go to our website. Thank you, Jennifer, for showing our website. We are offering monthly programs. We run the gamut of personal, like we just did 12-week goals. We've got a class on boundaries coming up. So check out our website and connect with us. So thank you so much, Jennifer.
Oh, no, my pleasure.
Can I ask, you put, Jennifer, you put latinasontheplaza.org. Somebody's putting latinasontheplaza.com.
Yeah, it's .org.
It's .org. Okay. Just so that we get people are sure to.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
latinasontheplaza.org. Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for catching that.
Like, yeah, it's .org. I'm like, oh my God, I'm doubting.
Awesome. Thank you. Let me know, what about you, Maria?
Yes, as I mentioned, I am with Transformation Financial, and we are all about helping people understand and navigate the realm of finance, helping them with budgeting, debt control, planning for retirement. We do hold free workshops, and we also do free assessments. It's basically like a discovery where we look at all the areas in your life, from the income that comes in, debt that goes out, and what do you have in place, and is it working for you? Because if it is, then we leave it alone. If not, we recommend, how to improve your financial situation, because our mission is, no family left behind. We are here to help people from all walks of life. And really, as an educator, I love the company because we are very much into helping people understand and become educated in that whole realm, which is sometimes very intimidating. And please do not be embarrassed about your situation. If you're like, no, I have too much debt, I don't want to talk about it. Well, we always go to the doctor, don't we? And yes, he or she will probably reprimand us for not eating well, for being overweight, right? And then we do something about it, right? And then they make recommendations. It's the same thing. No judgment. We are really just here to help you out. So please reach out to me, here on Facebook, private message, or through team.transformation. Was that right? Or transformation.financial?
Transformation.financial, but also, let me show that, because you guys were our sponsors for our conference. So go to transformation.financial. I didn't even know there was such thing as a .financial website. Like, when I heard that, I was like, wait, what? Because you're used to the .orgs, .coms, .biz, I don't know how many are there out there. But so it's transformation.financial. And actually, I have your web card with this link, the bit.ly/white platinum sponsor. So if anyone wants to go and reach out to Maria directly, we have are there. So, yeah, because definitely finances can be very intimidating for a lot of folks,
And
especially. Mhm.
yeah, so I was going to say the website is our entire team, so you're welcome to reach out to anybody on there. But if you want to reach out to me directly, I'd be happy to talk to you. So we are definitely a team. We huge collaborative community that I work with. I love that we all help each other, support each other, motivate each other, and we're also always looking for team members. So if you're looking for a side gig, also reach out to me.
Nice, nice. Thank you for sharing, Maria, and thank you for being a co-host with me this morning. I know that usually with what I do with this show is I like to bring on women who are really active in the community, who've taken our coaching program. And Maria, of course, she's a coach now in our coaching program where she teaches the content. And I try to, give opportunities for them to run the show and produce a show and engage and conversate with the guests to give more exposure. So that's my mission around that. So definitely for those that are following, definitely follow us at Women's Self Development. We're on all the social media platforms. And then we have our website, womensselfdevelopment.org. And then we have our free Facebook community that you guys can check out, Wise Women Support Group. And you can see more stuff there. But I really appreciate you guys for taking time this morning. I know everyone's like, I only come on the show for you, Jennifer, this early in the morning. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time doing this. Oh, and we have Jeanette. I didn't see Jeanette. She said, great info, ladies. So I wanted to show that comment. Hey, Jeanette, and thank you for great input, ladies. Have a blessed day. I gotta run. Yeah, Jeanette actually was with me at the conference on Friday, the real estate investor event. So super excited. And she was at the conference, our WISE conference as well. So, but thank you again, ladies, for just spending the time with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's been a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you for
All
having
right.
us. Always fun.
Thank you. God bless you guys. Have
All
a
right, have a
great
great
rest of
week.
your week.
You
Bye.
too.